Well, hey there, you're on the internet, I have some free time, and welcome to the Triple N Network, where all you newbie nib nerds can find all the news you'll need. Let's look at an ink today, shall we? Now, today's ink I got from xfountainpens.com. Chesterfield, which I have on good authority, is just rebottled Diamine ink. And this is their Archival Vault, which is, as the label indicates, an Iron Gall formula. So the pens I keep it in are this Ohto Tasche, it's a pocket pen. It's got a very, very fine nib. I keep it in my bag, so if I ever need to write something permanent, got that. And then I also have it in this TWSBI 580. I did the test with a broad nib, but it has a 1.5 stub in it now. Now, I'd like to show you the color that the ink is when it goes down. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a very pale, very watery blue. And then it very quickly starts to darken. So if you look at this, and then if you just give it a couple of days, it actually starts to turn black, which you'll see in the paper tests. Now, the chromatography also changed after a couple of days, which is why I did it twice. I have no idea what this coffee stain looking thing up at the top is, but it happened both times. And as you can see at the bottom, there's that sort of light slate blue, then it goes into sort of a dark gray. But as you can see, definite potential for water resistance, which is one of the things that Iron Gall inks are supposed to be particularly useful for. So, top down in density, Clairefontaine 90 grams per square meter. You can see this watery, thin blue turns this dark, almost black. And it's got great shading, even in the really, I would call this a Western extra fine nib. No bleed, no feather, no spread. Fantastic water test, as you can see. I mean, you can barely tell the difference. Great performance there. Next is Rhodia, where again, you get great shading, even in that extra fine. And it's fairly quick drying. I'd say it's average. But yeah, again, no bleed, feather, spread. Fantastic water test. And I've found that this ink is actually particularly well behaved. It's not that hard to clean out, which is one of the reasons why I use it as often as I do, because I've heard horrible things about Iron Gall inks, but this one, it's actually not that hard to maintain. So anyways, moving on. Tomoe River Paper. Again, great shading, but it starts to look kind of thin in spots, and I think that's partly just, you know, how this paper works and how it makes things shade. But yeah, so it looks pretty thin in some areas, but it also looks very dark in others. Water test is very good. I said there's no bleed, feather, spread, but there is some fairly serious echo. So, and next is 20-pound copier paper, where again, you still get fantastic shading if my camera would focus. And it's a very permanent color. I mean, it's a very permanent ink. It's a professional looking ink. Like, I would not hesitate to use this on documents. Water test is fantastic. Look at that. No bleed. Not even a hint of it. Even in the water test. Looking good so far. Here's Mead Notebook Paper, where again you get shading. And I said almost no bleed, no real feathering, no spread. Water test is fantastic. Look at that. That has to do with the crappiness of the paper, but yeah, look, look. Pretty impressive, right? And lastly is Moleskine notebook paper, where again, you get great shading. And again, this big writing is a broad nib. So, great performance. And I said no real bleed because this actually doesn't reach the other side. It's just intense ghosting. And if you'll notice, like if you hold it up to the light, all the places where that is where the broad nib was. So, yeah, there you go. That's Chesterfield Iron Gall Archival Vault ink, which essentially is just Diamine Registrar's ink. Yeah, I've kept it in this pen pretty much since I bought it. Starts up instantly. It's reliable. Yeah, it's a great ink. It's really impressed me. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If this really is just the regular old Diamine Registrar's ink, then I recommend that as well. Great performance, great water resistance, performs fantastically even in a broad nib on the cheapest papers. So for your consideration, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. Bye.